We are now going to go into great speeches by scientists, engineers, about how we explore practical solutions, best practices to preserve biodiversity, to look at, with more intelligence and understanding, protected areas. How do we make fisheries sustainable? How do we try to maintain our coastal areas in the context of climate change, in the context of fishing, overfishing, other types of pollution, etc. And to do the first presentation, I'm very happy to welcome on the stage. Everybody still hears me? Yes? Good. Now, when we clap, will it go into the headsets as well? I hope so. We're going to invite onto the stage, yes, we're going to invite onto the stage Frank Muller Karger from the University of South Florida. Thank you for welcoming him on the stage because he is the co-chair and he's going to come to a presentation about how we bridge the knowledge but also the collaboration gap between stakeholders. Thank you, Frank. Come on stage with us. And I think you have to also speak into a microphone. I hope it is open.
Thank you, Henry. Does it work? Okay, very good.
Oh, and here's the clicker. Here is the clicker for your slides. Let me know, do you hear Frank?
Do you hear it?
Yes?
Yes, okay,
Test.
very good.
Good.
I'm Frank Muller Karger.
Go ahead,
I'm
Frank,
from
the floor is yours.
University of South Florida, where I'm an oceanographer, a marine scientist that is very interested in marine biodiversity. I use satellite remote sensing, many of the technologies that we have here. And one of the things that I'm interested in is getting people together to address exactly the last question from the last panel, is how do you fill the gaps of of knowledge in the ocean? And so for that, let's see. We put together this Marine Biodiversity Observation Network, so MBON, if you want to look for it. And that is projected onto the ocean decade by something that we call Marine Life 2030. So you can find either both, Marine Life 2030 or MBON, if you look on the web. So one of the things that we have a problem with is that when we're trying to make decisions about marine biodiversity, we need the information that is timely and it has to be in the right place. This is the coverage, at least in the near surface, that I try to map against satellites. So if I look at a satellite and I want to ground truth, I want to see what is it on the ground that I'm measuring and compared to the spectra that you measure from a satellite if you're looking at ocean color. Most of the ocean doesn't have records of actual biodiversity data. All of that, what you see in white, is a gap. The deeper that you go in the ocean, the more gaps you see. And this is a problem not only in space, but also in time. So if you want to make the decisions about where to protect or what to conserve or how do you manage a particular activity like shipping or fishing or wind farming, the information at present is not quite there. And so you can see that there's areas of high density of data where it's orange and red in the northern hemisphere, but if you go to the south, if you go to the middle of the ocean, there's a lot of gaps. And the closer you get in time, the upper right-hand corner, the closer you get in time to the present, the less data there is. So this is a problem. One of the ways that we're trying to get together people to talk about this is working with the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission and something called the Global Ocean Observing System. These people are trying to make the lists of requirements from different stakeholders, from local all the way to global, from indigenous people to industries, of what is it that you need. And so those are the requirements, and we're trying to capture that in spec sheets, specification sheets. Then we try to put out the products in the green arrow, and those are through databases like the Ocean Biodiversity Information System, or OBIS, or there's the Global Information Facility, the Global Biodiversity Information Facility. To get the people together to make these products, we have the MBON. So this brings together different communities of scientists, of stakeholders, and trying to get together to patch together the information that we need. To talk the same language, because there's many different communities that speak different languages, have different types of data sets, we use these ideas of essential variables. There's an essential climate variable, essential biodiversity variable, and the essential ocean variables. Essential ocean variables are simply the measurements that you've been hearing about all this morning that we try to then collect into these different products and generate biodiversity products. So you can see there's 6 classes of biodiversity variables, from genetics to species population, species traits, community composition, and so on. But this is the language that we're trying to come together, to have the community come together around. In terms of the essential ocean variables, these are the variables that we try to focus on in terms of how do you measure microbes or phytoplankton or zooplankton, benthic invertebrates, fish, turtles, birds, and mammals. And then we also have habitat variables like mangrove, seagrasses, microalgae, and hard corals. The technologies that we're trying to map is there's all kinds of different technologies that are emerging from environmental DNA to acoustics, passive and active acoustics. We also have imaging. You saw some of the examples this morning. And we also have computers as well as satellite data. Not all of them are able to measure biodiversity. So we're trying to map what is it that you can do, and then how do you stream the data in a way that is consistent or coherent so that you can compare different measurements from different parts of the world and over time. So the idea is to, if you talk to stakeholders like a park manager or somebody that is in shipping industry, they don't have time to go through satellite data, all of these different types of information and put it all together. So we need very, very simple tools where you can click on a variable of interest, be it temperature or a fish or a coral reef, and see how it changes over time. And so that's what we call the webinization of information. We're trying to make that transparent to the user. And we have this network that we're working with people. The network is growing all the time, and what I would like to do is invite you all to be part of this network. So again, try to find us as MBON or as Marine Life 2030. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you.